The secrets of polyglots. How do they learn many languages? Hello and welcome to my podcast. Today, we will talk about a very interesting topic, the secrets of polyglots. People who can speak many languages. Maybe you know someone who speaks 5, 10, or even more languages. It sounds amazing, right? Many people ask, are they born with a special talent, or do they use smart methods to learn languages? Most polyglots say that learning a language is not about talent. It's about using the right strategies and practicing often. The good news is that anyone can do this. Common myths about polyglots. Many people think that polyglots are born with a special ability that helps them learn languages easily. But is this true? Let's look at some of the most common myths about people who speak many languages. One big myth is that polyglots are language geniuses who can learn any language without effort. In reality, most polyglots say that learning a language is not about talent. It's about using good methods and practicing regularly. Success in language learning comes from the right techniques and daily practice, not from natural ability. Another myth is that only children can learn a language well. It's true that children learn languages easily when they grow up in a bilingual home, but this does not mean adults cannot learn a new language. Many studies show that adults can learn languages well if they use good learning techniques and practice often. Some people also believe that polyglots speak all their languages perfectly, like a native speaker. But this is not true for most people. Polyglots usually have stronger and weaker languages, depending on how often they use them. They may speak one language fluently, but use another mostly for reading or listening. Learning a language is not about being perfect. It's about using the language to communicate. These myths can stop people from trying to learn a new language, but the truth is, anyone can learn many languages with the right strategy and regular practice. So, how do polyglots learn? Let's find out. For polyglots, learning a language is more than a school subject. It's a way of life. They don't just study languages, they use them every day. They make languages a natural part of their life. But how do they do this? One of the most important ideas is that a language is not just something to study. It's something to live. They watch movies, listen to music, read books, and try to use the language in real-life situations. Another key technique is that they start speaking from the beginning. They don't wait until their language skills are perfect. Instead, they use what they already know. This can be in short sentences, simple conversations, or even online language learning communities. The most important thing is to start speaking as soon as possible. Practice is what makes your skills better. Polyglots know that learning vocabulary is one of the most important parts of language learning. They don't always start with difficult grammar rules. Instead, they learn the most common words and phrases first. This helps them communicate in basic situations, even after just a few weeks of study. Consistency is also very important. Polyglots practice every day, even if it's only for 10 to 15 minutes. They don't need to study for hours. The most important thing is regular learning. These strategies are not only for polyglots. Anyone who wants to learn languages in a fun and effective way can use them too. But what are some specific methods that work best? We will talk about that in the next part. The most effective methods polyglots use. Polyglots don't just speak many languages. They also use smart learning methods that help them learn new languages quickly and easily. Let's look at some of the best techniques that anyone can try. One great method is using stories and imagination. Instead of memorizing words one by one, polyglots create stories with them. When we connect a new word to a picture, a memory, or a funny story, it's much easier to remember. This also helps us learn words in sentences instead of learning them alone. Polyglots know that the best way to learn a language is by speaking it. That's why they use language exchange and talk with native speakers. Speaking with real people helps polyglots learn faster, improve their pronunciation, and sound more natural. Watching movies, TV shows, and reading books is also very helpful for language learning. Polyglots often watch movies in the original language. At first, they use subtitles, but later they try without them. This helps them learn new words and improve listening skills. Reading books is also useful because it helps with grammar and writing. Music and songs are another great way to learn a language. The rhythm and melody help us remember words more easily. That's why polyglots often listen to songs in the language they are learning. Some people even try to write down the lyrics while listening and then compare them with the original version. This is a great listening exercise. Finally, one of the best learning techniques that many polyglots use is teaching as a way of learning. When we explain something to someone else, we understand it better ourselves. That's why some language learners try to teach their friends, write blogs about their learning journey, or help others in language groups. This method not only makes their knowledge stronger, but also gives them confidence. Motivation and practice, the biggest difference. Polyglots don't just learn languages in a smart way, they also think differently. One big difference between polyglots and other language learners is that they are not afraid of mistakes. Many people don't want to speak a new language because they are scared to say something wrong. But polyglots know that mistakes are normal. If you don't try to speak, you will never feel comfortable in the language. Another important thing is that polyglots have fun while learning. They don't think language learning is a boring school subject. They add the language to their daily life. They watch movies, read about things they like, or listen to songs in the language. This makes learning easy and fun. They don't stop using a language after learning it. If they don't use a language, they will forget it. That's why they practice their languages regularly. They don't study every language every day, but sometimes they read books, watch movies, listen to music, or talk in that language. Summary and conclusion. Polyglots are not superhumans. They are just smart learners who use good methods. They don't speak many languages because they were born with a special talent. They speak many languages because they practice all the time and enjoy learning. The most important lesson is, don't be afraid of languages. Try to speak, even if your knowledge is not perfect. Don't be afraid of mistakes, because mistakes help you learn. Now, I want to hear from you. Which language do you want to learn? What learning method have you tried before? Share your experience and let's help each other with the best learning tips.